I'm a bit scared to be here alone. And you can also see the Nazi sign there. Most of them were stolen by the families of the soldiers. Good morning, guys, from Zlatibor. We are actually leaving Zlatibor. I'm going to NIS. My buddy here is going to Novi Pazar. So this is last final morning here. No visibility on the road here. It's all foggy. I'm going very slow. Hello guys, I just arrived in NIS. We're crossing this bridge now. Bus station is that way. About 500 meters walk. Maybe a bit less than that. So crossing the river, you get to the whole happening area, I guess. Behind me is the NIS fortress over there. But I don't think I'll be visiting that. Too many fortresses. But there is a lot of construction going on. I don't have internet, so the first order of business will be to get a new SIM card. Topping up is rather more expensive than getting a new SIM card, it seems. So looks like some sort of a city center here. Man singing some nice music. Don't withdraw from there. Charges for international transactions. There's a big hotel over there, but I don't think I'll be staying there. It's expensive. So find a cafe, get a SIM card, and find a place to stay. Good morning, guys. This is my third apartment, so I thought I would give you an apartment tour. I've been here two days already. There's nothing much going on during the weekend. Everything is sort of locked down. So this is the living room. It's a 2-bedroom apartment. Everything is really nicely decorated and a big ass TV there. The host also has put some nice description about the place, guides, history and everything. And nice couches, very comfortable. It is overlooking an inner courtyard of some sort. First toilet. There's another toilet too. Not bad, it has a shower and everything. Here's the twin room, which I'm not using. A friend of mine may come, so he can use this. Pretty standard. Nice bed and everything, AC. And here's my bedroom. You have a cupboard, full-size mirror here. Bedside sockets over there, nice bed. I also have a balcony. I booked this place through Airbnb, so that's one of the main roads. The pedestrian street is just here, back at the back. So very central in NIS. And here is a sort of a balcony for me. We're going to explore around a little bit and hopefully we can show you whatever is open. So right now we are going to get some breakfast to start our day with. If you haven't subscribed to my channel already, make sure you do and hit that notification bell. The fortress is right there and our breakfast spot is here. Can I, the chocolate, that one?
One this.
Yep. Here is my breakfast. I think it's chocolate. Got something else with cherry in it. Cherry and I think it's vanilla. It tastes good, but the waitresses are not that friendly here. My coffee. I just finished with my breakfast and we're just going out. This is a central main square in Niš, just by the river and the fortress across. And there is a monument here. The guy on the horse is actually, and there is also a flag he is carrying. This is actually called as the Monument to the Liberation of Niš from the Ottoman Empire. 1915 Yugoslav sculpture built by a Croatian guy. And that's the main pedestrian street starting from there. As you can see, there isn't many people today. It's a Sunday. I think it is the 14th of December. On my first day, my apartment was right on this street, but it was rather cold. I had to change. I changed the apartments twice. The second one was about a kilometer away from here, so it was rather hard to get into the walking city. Current one, it's right on the parallel street. And I'll show you my first apartment coming up. It is a nice apartment, but think that they have other rooms, and it has high ratings. But for me, it was, I think I probably booked the last room or something. I got this. I actually booked the cheapest one, so I got that one in the attic, and it was cold. Here is a coffee shop. It's designed in the shape of a tram, so it's like you're sitting in a train car. Familiar brands there, office. As you can see, the street is completely empty. It's also a Sunday morning, so that adds to that. One of the good things about Serbia is that in all main cities we have this chargers. You will never run out of charge on your phone, but remember to carry a cable. They don't provide the cable. And also, all these main squares have free Wi-Fi. You can also go to McDonald's and steal their Wi-Fi if you don't have internet. And this is the shopping center, Forum Shopping Center. And my apartment was in this building. This one? Right there. So if I look out, I could see the shopping center. Despite its closeness to the street, it was very quiet. It's called Niš City Center Apartments. It was really cheap, only 20 euros. That may be why it was cold. They didn't bother to put on the heater. One thing I don't like about the I don't feel very good about this place is that there are people who just walk by and then they just whisper like in a very bad tone. I don't know why, but I think it's because, I don't know, I don't want to call it what it is. I don't want to discuss that either, but I just wanted to point out that happens here. Not everyone, it depends really on the person. You can't generalize anything. So as far as I understand, this year is dedicated to a Serbian writer and his novel, because one of this is the writer and the other one is the character from his novel, and that's what it depicts. I guess he was really famous, and probably the dog, his dog or dog from the novel. The specialty was he always wrote his novels in the authentic local dialect. So even in newspapers and other publications, he wrote in that local dialect, basically describing the life of people in Niš. So that's what his signature move was in his writings. His name is Stefan Šramak, or Steven Šramak, and the Kalka is the character's name. I may be butchering the pronunciation. Oh, there's English here. Stefan Šramak, academician and writer, 1855, late 19th century, and early 20th century. That's the guy. I think the writer is actually the one on the right, because that guy looks like the one on the water fountain. And I should add that like Serbian water to drink is one of the best in Europe, so you shouldn't have any problem drinking from these fountains or from tap. There's also a very good, nice brunch place or restaurant which has high ratings here, which is called the Pleasure Cafe, which is right there. You can see the board for that. If you are craving Western food, that is a good place to go. think we are walking to the concentration camp first, and on the way back we will visit the fortress. And here is the river. I did walk through this promenade here yesterday when I was waiting to change my apartments. It's a quite nice walk. People actually come here to walk their dog. You can actually grab a coffee and sit in one of those benches and enjoy the river. And you can also see some fishermen fishing over there. That is the fortress. There is something over there. A list of names. There is a local market which we are going to walk through. They're selling all kind of stuff here. Bras if you want the bras. Here is mostly clothing shops, toys shops, more clothing shops. There are people inside, but everyone is like hushing and whispering. How much?
For you?
Yeah. How much?
150.
That's like 150 dinar. That's like a euro and a 5 cents.
Euro and quarter.
It's actually a very big market. A lot of clothing shops. I'm not actually seeing any vegetables or meat or anything like that yet. This walks between the fruits a little bit. I think it's divided into like clothing section, fruits and vegetables, and meat over there. Chili? Paprika? Paprika? Right, let's go out. Too many people for my liking. So this is a bus station here, and here's the market, and that's where we walked from. Not many buses here now. When I came, there was like filled with buses. I think it's also the public transport here, these red buses, not long distance. These are from a company called NIS Express, I think. Other long distance buses also go inside here. Getting a lot of stairs here. Oh, no. This is not the way at all. We are walking by the railway lines here. We took a wrong turn somewhere, but now we can see the railway lines here. There's dogs. And you can see all this garbage here. We've been walking for almost 20 minutes now. Hopefully we'll be there in it's very near, 200 more meters from here. So hopefully it's in one of these fields here. It's actually a very nice, beautiful place. I like it. Not a single soul here apart from one guy. Some rundown buildings here. And I think concentration camp might be that ugly looking building. Oh, here's a remnants of a whatever that was, a shop maybe. Oh yeah, this looks cool. I think this is going to be much better than the concentration camp that we saw in Belgrade, because this thing actually looks like a concentration camp. Fortunately, this is open. There's like these small openings here at the gate. I think this is probably where the guard stood when people came in. Hello. Is it open? Oh, thank you.
Concentration camps from Second World War.
Okay.
There are 3 levels. On the ground floor there are three rooms. Upstairs on the first floor 5 rooms, and on the attic 20 solitary confinement cells. Everything you can read inside. It's in English. Everything about war, about prisoners, about executions. And after that, if you have any questions, I will be here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
So that's the entrance of the camp. Big wooden doors here. I wonder why it is called Red Cross concentration camp. Because Red Cross we normally associate to the charity. Here we enter into another room here, which has some, says the camp break participants, some sort of certificates, probably possessions of people who used to be here. Very dimly lit room. I think these are all the names. And I know that this park has something to do with this too. So the final solution of Jewish question, that actually means destruction of the whole Jewish population in the whole of Europe. Back in those days, Jewish people were not actually allowed to ride in a tram, visit a cinema, and visit other public institutions in the city. So Jewish people in those times, World War II, they were issued these yellow armbands, and it was mandatory for them to wear it, probably to distinguish them with them from the rest of the population. Very racist. I think the whole final solution of Jewish question were executed in phases. So this was the first phase, included all this restriction for them, and the first phase also included the armbands. The second phase actually involved taking away adults and separating them from their children, and the third phase is actually killing them. A doctor who offered medical assistance to the people. Another doctor who was shot dead for offering help. Their belongings. Doctors. I think this whole room is probably for doctors. Concentration camp medical doctors, that's what it is. Even though most of them were doctors, even though it was their primary duty, they had this weird link between the outside and the internal world, because they could, they have a freedom of movement that way. And also, they fulfill the roles of internal administrators and messengers at times, also as translators, because all of them spoke German fluently. So the Red Cross Society is actually an organization created to help the refugees and treat the wounded. And it was actually created after the liberation of Niš from Ottoman Turks in 1878. It was mainly for offering medical support. I'm a bit scared to be here alone. It does have that eerie feeling to it. So that is the outside. There's more space and stuff around. There's a cannon over there. That's where I bought the tickets from. It's 600 dinars for both this and the skull tower is for 2 people, and the ticket is 300, both the concentration camp and the skull tower. The tourist information lady said it was closed and it will open on Monday, but here they say that it is not open tomorrow on a Monday, but it's actually open today until 3 o'clock. So I'm going to rush there. So there is something special about this camp here. During the World War II, the whole area was called Red Cross concentration camp, Red Cross area. But nowadays it is called February 12 because of a prison break the prisoners attempted back in 1942, I think, on February 12. Basically what happened was some of the prisoners, 147 of them from the room 12, which is closer to the last one is 18, so it's probably somewhere here. They staged an escape and 107 of them managed to escape, but the rest were captured and killed. And that was the very first escape in the history of concentration camps in Europe. And after that, these buildings were built. This you can actually see, it says Wache or Wahe, which means guards in German. You can also see the Nazi sign there, the swastika. Nowadays only the outside is kept as it was. Inside is actually renovated to be offices. This was the kitchen over here, this portion of the building. These were the guards, kitchen, kuche, and I think the esrom, that means toilets. Before the escape, the front walls didn't exist. There were only barbed wires here. And after the escape, Germans built this building for guards and built this concrete wall around. So that's how it came to be known as February 12. People were not actually killed here. They were taken to the hill nearby where you have these big monuments for people who were killed at that time. But here, when the Nazis were leaving, some of the remaining prisoners were shot on this, somewhere around this platform, and you can see there are memorial plaques created for them here. There's also 2 watchtowers for guards here and there. The official, the woman there, was really helpful. She was the one who explained about the prison break and everything. All right, we have to take the bus number 3 from here. All right, I just got off the bus. The skull tower is somewhere here. There is something over there, maybe a souvenir shop. He says that's the skull tower. It may be that, but I'm doubtful because there's a cross on top, and the skull tower was actually built by Ottomans, which has nothing to do with Christianity. But I may be wrong because I can also see the skulls on it. I think this is it. He may be right. This is the entrance. Nope. That is the skull tower. It was built by the Ottomans as a warning message to the Serbian soldiers. So you have to go there and let her know, and she will open it for you. Maybe that's because there's not many tourists these days. The inside, what you see here, is the tower actually, and it is actually protected by this glass covering and with the building around it now. And I also read that there were around 957 skulls, but most of them were stolen by the families of the soldiers. So these are Serbian soldiers' heads decapitated by the Ottomans in retaliation. And only 53 of these skulls remain, or something like that, remain here. going to take bus number 13410, 8 or 4 to get the Buband Memorial, where they executed the prisoners from the Red Cross concentration camp. Looks like this is the last stop for number 4. We're walking to the memorial now. Quiet residential area here. I like it actually, the vibe of this place. We also have that smell of the smoke coming out of the chimney. I can also hear water flowing. So many dogs here barking at us, but this dog is rather old, I think. It doesn't have a lot of energy, but a dog nonetheless. All right, now we are walking through this secluded walkway. It looks like we are the only people here, apart from some rowdy dogs and character. There's actually a few people, 3 of them there. There is prominent 3 main structures here. The Red Cross concentration camp that we saw earlier. People were kept there and then they were transported to here, this side, to be executed. It is estimated that between 10,000 and 15,000 people were shot dead from Niš, people who were from around Niš or southeastern Serbia. And this monument is built in the shape of a clenched fist. Of course, that is an estimate, 10,000 to 15,000, because the Nazis destroyed all records of how many people were shot dead. But this is according to the witnesses during that period. That probably is the last thing that we are going to see here in Niš. And yeah, if you like the video, give me a like, subscribe, make sure you don't forget to do that, and leave your thoughts in the comment section.